May 2023, Richmond, Virginia. A group of people came to the home of a 25-year-old woman. They beat her, then they left. That's where this could have stopped. They came back. More of them, guns, masks. They put her in a Hyundai Sonata, drove her to another county. 8 shots. According to the case file, just hours earlier, she had been trying to get out of the gang. She wasn't the only one who had a door standing open. 7 more. A credit line on a TV show. A photograph from 1934. A bounce record out of New Orleans. A federal indictment with Griselda Blanco's name on it. A file of tweets somebody studied. A university sticker sitting under a bullet hole. A recorded phone call from prison. 8 people, 8 roads. Lists like this usually rank by how brutal someone was. I'm ranking by something else. Who actually had a way out, and what happened when they tried to use it. Her name was Taiosha Mitchell, 25, mother of 2. Early on the morning of May 6th, 2023, she was found on the side of a road in York County, Virginia. Who she was in that world, the press tells 2 ways. One version calls her Crown Princess, the highest-ranking woman in a branch of the Black Pea Stone Nation. The other says she led the women's side of a different gang in Norfolk. I'm leaving both. What nobody disputes is the night before, a group of people came to her home in Richmond. According to court records, they planned to beat her for 21 seconds. 21 seconds. Somebody sat there counting, a punishment for breaking a rule. When it was over, they left. Here's the part worth saying. Between those 2 moments, there was a gap. Long enough to cool off. Long enough for one person in that group to say enough. Nobody said enough. They came back, more of them, with guns, with masks. They put her in the Hyundai Sonata and drove to another county. When they got there, they made her get out. Head, stomach, back, legs. At least 8 rounds hit her. Job done, the group went back to Portsmouth. The one running it told everybody to burn their clothes. They burned the clothes. They didn't pick up the shell casings. Stamped into the base of each one, 2 letters, S and B, the name of a Czech ammunition company, about the size of a fingernail. The next day, Norfolk police spotted the car. 5 people arrested, 5 people pleaded guilty. Nobody went to trial. The longest sentence, 38 years. This case closed on objects, not people. Remember that. At the end of this video, there's a case that went the other way entirely. As for whether she was trying to get out, that's 2 versions too. The Justice Department says she broke a rule. Local press says she was trying to leave the gang hours before they took her. It's possible those are the same sentence. Taiosha at least knew what she was stepping out of. The next one is different. Was she ever inside at all? In the fall of 2004, a name appeared in the credits of an American TV series. Terra McMullen, 15 years old. Her character's name was Griselda Reyes, a girl in a gang, 7 episodes, the final season of Judging Amy. I'm not saying that role foretold anything, just 2 dates sitting next to each other. In early 2005, at 16, Terra moved out on her own. An apartment in Inglewood, 16 years old, living alone. She was seeing someone 10 years older than her. That person was in a gang. October 21st, 2005, close to 6 in the evening, she was standing outside the apartment complex with 2 friends. Someone opened fire. 5 rounds hit her torso. The other 2 were wounded. and lived. She died 3 hours later. This is the part you need to hear closely. An Inglewood officer put it this way: it's not that she was a gang member, it's that she may have just been in the wrong place at the wrong time. The police said that, not the family. 4 months later, one person was charged. The second shooter was never identified. As for how Terra saw any of it herself, nobody knows. She didn't leave a single word. In the eulogy, her parents wrote that their daughter made friends with everyone on set, from the grip to the caterer. Terra shows that standing close was enough. The next one was all the way inside, and there, the question isn't what she did, but how much of it can be proven. Before the nickname, she was a student people thought of as shy, 5'3", 128 pounds. Her middle school was called Perspectives, Math, and Science. Her father was shot dead before she turned 1. In 2011, a friend of hers was killed at a bus stop, the corner of 63rd and State. Lawrence, 16 years old. They called him Tuka. Her set was called STL/EBT, short for 2 street corners. After that day, they renamed it Tukaville. On the street, she was KI. Then in her last weeks, one more name, Lil Snoop. After a female shooter on The Wire, her own mother confirmed it. So how many people did she shoot? 3 answers. The street says, at least 15. Police suspected 3 to 5 shootings, at least 1 killing. Proven, none. She was never charged. The reason police gave no witness would identify her. The case that comes up most, the death of O'Day Perry, August 2011. His housing project was afterward called O Block. Wikipedia writes it as settled. The record doesn't. Police only put forward a theory, and it was never proven. In April 2014, she posted her location online. That afternoon, she was shot dead, 17 years old. 2 years later, Columbia University studied her tweets, and her name still turns up in federal filings years after that. Reputation outlives evidence. Social media didn't invent that. It just made it faster. The next one died 80 years before the internet. Texas, 1932. Bonnie Parker was 21, a waitress, and running with a car thief named Clyde Barrow. A hardware store break-in in Kaufman went wrong. They were there for guns. Clyde got away. Bonnie and one of Clyde's people, a man named Ralph Fultz, did not. First time and the only time, on June 17th, the grand jury declined to indict. She was released. Fultz was convicted and went to prison. He never went back to the gang. Same arrest. 2 ways out. Fultz took his. A few weeks later, Bonnie went back to Clyde. Over the next 2 years, 9 people died at that gang's hands. 6 wore a badge. In April 1933, police raided an apartment in Joplin. The gang got out and left behind a roll of film. On it, a photograph of her holding a gun with a cigar in her mouth. Papers across the country ran it. She always hated that picture. And the whole roll was never shot to be published. After that photograph, Bonnie Parker was no longer someone who could go anywhere on her own. She was half of a name. In January 1934, the gang hit Eastham Prison Farm. Texas hired a man to hunt them. On May 23rd, 1934, on a country road in Louisiana, the car was ambushed. More than 100 rounds. She was 23, never convicted of anything. Bonnie is remembered through photographs. The next one is remembered through music. Before there was a court record, there was a record. New Orleans, the Magnolia Projects. Renetta Lowe, on stage, Magnolia Shorty. At 15, she was already singing on a juvenile track. She and one other woman were the first 2 women Cash Money signed. One of the first female voices in Bounce. December 20th, 2010. She was 28. That day, she was about to fly to Miami for a show. Stopped by her apartment to grab something. She was sitting in a Chevrolet Malibu in the parking lot of a gated apartment complex. Beside her was a 25-year-old man named Jerome Hampton. Close to 12:30 in the afternoon, 5 gunmen fired more than 50 rounds into the car. She tried to drive out. The car hit a wooden fence. 26 rounds hit her. This is where I need to be clear. According to the federal record, the man that crew came for was Hampton, not her. 7 years later, this case sat inside a federal gang prosecution. 1 man pleaded guilty. 2 were convicted in 2017. But her name being in that case doesn't prove she belonged to any gang. The case names her, and that same case says they didn't come looking for her. Magnolia had a name. A name doesn't cover anybody. The next one had something far stronger, real power. On April 30th, 1975, a federal indictment was filed in New York. Griselda Blanco and 37 others. The charge, cocaine trafficking. She was in Colombia at the time. A warrant was issued. She stayed. Colombia didn't extradite drug traffickers back then. Nobody could reach her. 10 years went by. In 1984, she came to California under a false name. In February 1985, the DEA arrested her at her home in Irvine. Tried in July, convicted, 15 years. Then she appealed. This is the part worth hearing. Her argument, her right to a speedy trial had been violated. 10 years between the indictment and the trial. The appeals court answered, it's hard to sympathize with someone claiming harm from a delay they caused themselves. 10 years of freedom she took for herself. In court, that same thing was used against her. In prison, Florida charged her with 3 murders. That case fell apart over a scandal inside the prosecutor's office. Investigators estimated she was behind around 40 deaths. The legend says more than 200. Neither number was ever proven. In 2004, she was released and deported to Colombia. Police said there was no sign she was still in business. On September 3rd, 2012, she walked out of a butcher shop in Medellin with her pregnant daughter-in-law, a motorcycle, 2 shots to the head, 69 years old. The shooter was never identified. A lot of people say that was the style of killing she came up with. That's what people say. Griselda asked whether power buys a way out. The next question is harder. August 2019, South Los Angeles. 2 men were taking gifts out of a car for a baby shower. Alfredo Carrera was about to become a father. The shower was for his child. His pregnant fiancée was standing there. Jose Flores Velasquez, 23, a PhD student in astronomy at UC Irvine. He had just accepted a job at NASA. He'd come to drop the gifts off early. 3 people drove into the neighborhood and opened fire. Flores and Carrera died. A 3rd person was hit and lived. Flores's car still had a UC Irvine sticker on the rear window. Underneath it, bullet holes. Neither man belonged to any gang. According to court filings, the day before, an older member of the gang told the younger ones they had to go out and do something. 3 of them drove into rival territory. One of the 3 was 17. Her name was Chenise Dyer. She was initially charged with premeditated murder and was headed for adult court. Then the county changed district attorneys. New policy, no juvenile would be transferred to adult court. No matter the crime, she was tried in juvenile court, convicted of 2 murders, held less than 4 years. The DA's office said the law required the court to weigh 5 factors, among them that she acted at the direction of older people and had no significant prior record. They also said that under any district attorney, the odds of transferring her to adult court were low. 2 things are true at once. She was 17, and 2 men were dead. In September 2024, after her release, she was charged again, aiding and abetting in the killing of Joshua Streeter, 21, in Pomona. That case hasn't been decided. I'm not reaching a verdict for the court, and you shouldn't either. What does a second chance mean after harm that can't be undone? Dyer was given a road back by the system. The last one went looking for the system herself. On July 17, 2003, a father and son were fishing on the Shenandoah River in Virginia. They found a body, 17 years old, 4 months pregnant. Her name was Brenda Paz. Go back a year. She was born in Honduras, raised in the United States, and joined MS-13 at 13. Inside the gang, they called her Smiley. In June 2002, she was arrested in Virginia, and she started talking. She knew so much that the lawyer appointed to her called her a Rain Man kind of witness. The government put her in witness protection. New name, new social security number, moved to Kansas City. This was a real way out, on paper, with people watching. Inside the program, she got pregnant. Twice she left her new home to see people from the gang. In May 2003, she was at a hotel in St. Paul, Minnesota. 2 carloads of MS-13 came to visit. They took turns in the hot tub. When her handler stopped by to check on her, they hid in the bathroom. When they left, she went with them. In June, she left the program for good. A few weeks later, a father and son out fishing found her. In 2005, 4 men went to federal court in Alexandria. And this is where the record wins, then loses. The witness was dead, but what she had said was still there. The appeals court had to decide, can the out-of-court statements of a murdered person be put before a jury? The court allowed it, and still, prosecutors admitted there was no physical evidence, and no one who saw anything at the scene. 2 men were convicted, 2 were acquitted, including the one prosecutors called the mastermind. The defense said authorities pinned it on them to dodge responsibility for having failed to protect her. The trial showed that despite a psychological report recommending close supervision, she had been left almost entirely on her own. The government built Brenda a safe place. It didn't build her a life on the other side of it. 8 people. There's no single answer. One decided to walk out and was killed for that decision. One was never inside and still wasn't far enough away. One was let go by a court and went back on her own. One was given a new name and a new state and went back on her own too. One thought power was the way out until a court told her that 10 years of running didn't count as harm. One was given a road back by the system while 2 other families were given nothing at all. And for one, the record isn't enough to say whether she was inside or not. In the end, what's left isn't 8 names. A taillight, some shell casings with 2 letters stamped into them, a line in a television credit, a file of tweets sitting in a university library, a roll of film the woman in it never wanted anyone to see, a bounce record, and then a federal case, an indictment from 1975, a university sticker with bullet holes underneath it, and the voice of a 17-year-old girl read aloud in court after she was dead. 7 files are closed. One is still open, the Pomona case, where as recently as September 2025, someone else was arrested. A way out can be real. It can be on a map, in a court file, in a government program, or only in somebody's head. But deciding to leave and actually getting out are 2 different things. The legend is loud. The record isn't. If you want to hear the record, you have to go looking. If this one was worth your time, leave a name you want me to look into next. I read them all.